fundamentalist Christianity, after I left, taught me that members teach boys and girls that men get a free pass due to gender. If you've ever heard of the term boys will be boys, it's basically the same concept as what was she wearing. Nobody gets a free pass. Well, let me correct myself. No one should get a free pass based on their genitalia. It doesn't matter what gender you are, what orientation, what tax bracket you're in. Everyone has self-control. Everyone knows what consent is. Nobody has to do anything. It's like domestic violence. Nobody can make you hit somebody. No one can make you kick somebody. No one can make you assault a person. You and you alone are responsible for your behavior. On your 18th birthday, you become legally and morally responsible solely for your behavior until you have children. And then until they're 18, you then become responsible for their behavior as well. Men don't get a free pass just because they're men. Because in our society, religious or secular, we believe men are in charge and that men have the brain capacity and physical strength to be in charge. But when they have to take accountability for their inability to lead, to respect, and to protect, they feign they just don't understand consent. Well, I took a class in biology, and do you know what I learned? Bugs understand consent. Animals understand consent. Females in the animal kingdom will gang up on a male and throw him out of a pack or a group if he's a danger to women. In the animal kingdom, it's usually the females that hunt, and then the males eat. So when people say that women should stay home and men go and do things, that's not really how biology and the animal kingdom lives. Women hunt and bring home. Societies that view femininity as equal with masculinity have the safest cultures. And I took classes learning about the Amazons and the Greek Vestials. Any group of people that view women with respect, not because they can have children, not because they're someone's daughter, and not because they're the legal property or have the same name as their husbands, but because they're valuable human beings, regardless of anything or whatever they do, is a better society. Society has gotten safer for women in countries that give women equality. Countries that don't give women of all ages safety are usually African countries and countries in the Middle East where Sharia law is popular. Both parts of the continents are the most dangerous places on earth to be female. And I read somewhere that Somalia and Nigeria are considered the most dangerous place for sexual violence against women. However, the most dangerous place for women to use public transit is India. Yeah, places that view gender as one is better than the other. It's going to have high CSA, SA, and marital abuse. A lot of these countries don't view women as anything but something to sell. And let's be honest, if you've read the Bible, that was the ancient Jews to a T. They sold their women too. And that's how America did it. The whole issue is giving boys a free pass because they're boys is stupid, and it's insidious. People like Weinstein and Diddy grew up in a culture that said boys will be boys. So if women act out and prey on people, I've never heard that women will be women. I don't think so. Everyone understands consent. Even people with development and mental disabilities, and I've worked in home health care, they understand consent. They can be taught and they can be explained to about all kinds of things, from no pushing, no shoving, no touching, boundaries. If anyone can learn, men can learn too. If a man in a church is afraid to be alone with a woman, that is not a safe man to be around. I ride the elevator with all kinds of people, and not one time have I been in an elevator where I look at a man or a woman and say, this person is so tempting, I can't control myself. Now, if it's late at night and I see a man next to me in an elevator all by myself, I'm wondering if he's going to kill me. That's not the same thing. We live in a world where a man's worst nightmare is to be laughed at by a woman, while a woman's worst nightmare is being dismembered and put in a garbage can. Usually after she's been sexually assaulted. And it happens about every 10 minutes in the U.S. America has a sexism problem. Most things in America have a problem. When we celebrate masculinity and demonize femininity who shows traits of masculinity, that is sexism. When a man chooses to be more in touch with his feelings, have interests and careers that is not male dominated, we, male and female, lose a lot of respect for the man. Because in our culture, and in most cultures, unless you have a high atheistic or agnostic belief system in countries, those are the only exceptions. But for most of the planet, anyone, masculine or feminine, that shows femininity or feminine traits, pursues careers in feminine dominated or feminine expected careers, you will lose the respect of men, and you will be viewed as less masculine by women. Well, toxic women. So, what's the problem? If all men respected femininity in the same way, well, in a healthy way that they respect masculinity, we would have no misogyny, no sexism, no homophobia, no transphobia. It just wouldn't happen. All of those things come about by men and women hating on femininity. Women want to avoid being too feminine and avoid being too masculine, while men are the exact opposite. They want to avoid being feminine and embrace sometimes toxic alpha masculinity. You never want to be too much of your gender for women, but you never want to be too much toward the other gender. And men are the opposite. Instead of avoiding being too masculine, they have to be too masculine and avoid being too feminine. It's toxic. It's so unhealthy. We've actually created conversion camps to fix how toxic expectations work. You're not less masculine because you like pink or you have very animated body language. You're not more or less gay because you have good fashion sense. It's utterly ridiculous. But men hate femininity. Our world was created and designed to make women more likely to die in careers that are masculine. And women are more likely to die in car accidents because our society and safeguards are based off male crash dummies. Even our shoes, the shape, the way the shoe functions is based off a male's foot, not a female's foot. Our society utterly hates women. And until I learned about biology, just the progression of society, I never knew how much men openly hate women. And if I had to put into words how much men hate women, imagine the level of contempt it takes to pee on somebody. That's the level of contempt, or even beyond that, violating a dead woman. That is the level of contempt men have toward women, femininity, and being in touch with your emotions and being safe in your own skin. And until we teach boys that, no, you don't get a free pass because you're masculine. And girls, if a man or a boy is mean to you, he doesn't like you. He has nothing but contempt for you. That helps women. Don't teach women that boys treat them badly because they like you. If someone really likes you, they will make you never regret giving them your attention. Our society allows men to get away with the worst crimes imaginable for decades. People like Trump, Andrew Tate, Cosby, Weinstein, Diddy, R. Kelly, decades. Because it's better for a woman to be victimized, suffer, and have a long-term, lifelong trauma than to harm, inconvenience, or fuck up usually a white man's future.